Hello and welcome. My name's Rebecca Baker and I'm the Assistant Principal of Teaching and Learning at Thomas More College, and this is Mr. Ashley Bryans, our Director of Pathways. Firstly, we'd like to thank you for meeting with us in this different time as we can't have a parent information evening. We'd like to introduce you today to the SET program, which all of our Year 10 and 11 students will be engaging with during wellbeing. The SET program is really about setting up a future. At Thomas More College, we really recognise that a successful future is based not only on academic success, but also on the skills and attributes that each of our students have. It revolves around what we call the Thomas More-shaped graduate, or the T-shaped graduate, identifying passions and interests, recognising and building employability skills, reflecting on our development as a learner and as a person, and also thinking about how we might have a positive impact on our world. This leads for us into pathway planning for the SACE, but also into helping our students to transition into post-school study, training and employment. So to help you connect with this idea of the T-shaped graduate, we'd like you to hear from the perspective of employers, and we're just going to watch this short video.
Okay, so in a world of work where humans need to specialise in being more human and do the things like problem solving and communicating, how do you hire for that? How do you measure that?
I'll receive, 20 to 30 CVs for a role, for example, and most of those I will skim the CV, but for specific design and research roles, I'm looking at the work. So I'm looking at what you've done, looking at the proof. If I'm meeting you, I'm assessing everything about you when I'm talking to you so that I know that you can solve the problems, or you can talk to people, or you can run a workshop, for example. So I think personally CVs are going to become less relevant.
So I think schools are grappling with this idea of how do we prepare students for the future to think differently about their careers, that it's not a linear model that you will go in and start something but then most likely retrain or have multiple careers. And we were speaking earlier, Nicolette mentioned how much of the interpersonal skill is actually going to count towards that. So not just thinking about the technical skill, but how do I contribute to the workplace as a whole person? What other skills am I going to bring apart from my technical knowledge?
And very much focusing on mindset, not only skill. So qualification matter less, experience matters still.
The philosophy of recruitment is changing as well. We look as much at potential of an individual as we do at history. And that is really important. It means that we're not just looking for the 7-point GPA or the high ATAR score or you went to the right university. We're looking at the whole individual.
So in this video, we really heard about that interest in interpersonal skills, that question of how will you contribute to the workplace as a whole person. Employers really are looking for that whole individual, and for us that's our T-shaped graduate. This is from a report done on senior secondary pathways, which has both survey data from young people and also employers about what they're hoping for in the world of work. And this is what the young people are saying to us. They are saying that they want more than academic success. They want to have the skills to take that next step into their lives. And the employers are also saying to us that they want the things that we're talking about here at Thomas More. They want the transferable skills, like collaboration, people skills. They want flexible thinkers who can think critically and problem solve. They want employees with self-management skills, which we call our discipline learner, and enterprising skills like our driven learner. And we also read there that there is a certain level of expectation around basic levels of literacy and numeracy. So your kids are saying that they want more, and so are the employers. Through the large amount of research out there on economic trends over the past 20 years, we know that we are preparing our young people for a changing and dynamic career, that they will likely have several jobs over several careers. This is why when students do the SET program and the interview, we ask them to look at clusters. Rather than narrowly focusing on one dream job after school, we're asking them to aim for a cluster of jobs with similar skill requirements so they can then specialise through post-school study in their career. When we focus on clusters, students can plan their SACE around subjects they know they are interested in, they know they can perform well in, and will provide them with the opportunity to develop transferable skills. We also need to think about the skills that are going to make us employable in the future. So we've heard about the impact of automation on industry, but the flip side is that jobs that involve people or non-routine thinking jobs are on the increase. So in the set, we focus on our learner behaviours, which are designed to develop the employability skills that are in demand. When we understand that the jobs that are growing require us to use our heads or are thinking jobs, we understand why being able to demonstrate flexible thinking and curiousness are important. When we think about the need for people skills in all jobs, we understand why collaboration, respect, connection and service are important. Every employer is looking for someone who's disciplined and driven. These are also the skills that will ensure your child has success in the rest of their studies. So they're skills for now too. So this is why we focus in our T-shaped graduate on the boundary crossing competencies. These are the skills and capabilities that will help your young people to cross into that next step, from school to further study, from study to work, from a job to a career, and between careers within it.
Thank you, Ms. Baker. As you heard from the video, navigating a career path and becoming successful is about developing a set of skills. You may hear of these skills being referred to as employability skills. The way that this has been explained to the students is that it's like creating a toolbox of skills that can be used to help them create their successful future. And once they've created this toolbox, they can then dive into it to pull out the skills that they need to help to start to create their future. So how do we prepare our students for this world of change? Well, at Thomas More, our students will be creating a toolbox of transferable skills and of transferable capabilities. But when we talk to our students about skills, we want them to think more broadly. Contained within the students' interests and passions are also a set of skills that they've been developing. We want our students to see them as being valuable to their future and also to a prospective employer. And we're asking them to include them in their toolbox of skills. The SACE and the ATAR are probably the most spoken about part of senior school. The ATAR is important, especially for those students that see university as their immediate future. But you need something else to go with your ATAR, so the ATAR becomes part of that toolbox. This graphic represents employment rates and the benefits of education. The first little guy there shows that 14% unemployment rate for those students that don't complete Year 12. The second part of this graphic shows that those students that have completed Year 12, so they've attained their SACE, there's an unemployment rate of 5.7%. For those students that have either completed a Certificate 3 or 4 or a university degree, the employment rate is around about 3.6%. So you can see the benefits of Year 12, of having your SACE and possibly some further education is quite beneficial for students when they're heading out there into the workforce. The SACE is important, and so that also goes into the toolbox. Our toolbox, the thing that contains everything that is learned and developed, is contained within our T-shaped graduate. It's what we would like to see in every student when they graduate from Thomas More in Year 12. Our goal is that when every student completes their secondary education at Thomas More, they graduate with a toolbox of skills and capabilities, of interests and passions, that they have their SACE, they have an ATAR if it's required for their future, or that they have some further vocational vet qualifications. All of these skills will assist students in their chosen future. This will be achieved through our SET Senior Education Transition Program, most commonly known as the SET. First and foremost, this program is about finding the right pathway for each student and setting up their future. It's important to know that no one pathway is better. No subjects are better. But this is a fit for success. It needs to be achievable, but it also needs to provide some stretch for the students. This is not about choosing a career for life, but an opportunity for students to discover more about themselves as a learner and as a person, and to begin to create a plan to take them to the next step and explore a possible future direction. It's not wholly and solely about subject selection, although the students throughout this program will create a 2-year plan for their subjects. The major themes of the program are making a connection between themselves as a learner and as a person, researching and getting the facts about a possible future, creating a 2-year plan of subjects across Year 11 and Year 12, and reflecting as a learner and making the links to the learner behaviours and capabilities and seeing how they connect to the T-shaped graduate. So thank you for listening to our presentation on our Senior Education Transition Program.
And we look forward to engaging with you further as we support your young people in setting up a successful future.